Joining me now to discuss is our economic power panel. We have Russ Vought. He's former director of the Office of Management and Budget, current president of the Center for Renewing America. Also with us is Tyler Goodspeed, former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors and current Hoover Institute fellow. An honor to have you both on. Thank you so much for being here. Russ, we're going to talk about the problem with businesses getting workers to work for them with all these unemployment benefits, but I don't want to rain on the parade. 9.3 million job openings to choose from. This is really a buyer's market for those looking for jobs, isn't it?
It is. Today was a good report for the administration. It's not a great report. The unemployment rate ticked up. The fact that labor force participation rate stays the way it is. And I think there's a lot of things that are both occurring because of the resilience of the economy that the Trump administration left this administration, but also some warning signs from the standpoint of the unemployment benefits and some of the other things that are causing it hard for employers to be able to get people back to work and sometimes get back to work in the same job that they were doing.
Now, Tyler, you have it's a strange moment in world economic history because you had this shutdown for over a year of most economies in the world. So you would expect to have some discombobulations when you try to open the thing back up again. But you have this weird thing where you have 9.3 million job openings and 9.5 million people looking for jobs. It would seem to be a perfect fit. You have almost exactly the number of people looking for jobs as jobs available. But you got all kinds of other decisions being made that enter into the situation. A lot of people don't like some of the jobs. They want more money, et cetera. So how do you fit those two pieces together?
Well, I think the president is correct that this was a strong month of jobs growth, and that wasn't an accident. It was thanks to 26 individuals, and those were the 26 governors who decided that it was time to put the labor market recovery first by exiting the emergency supplemental insurance employment benefits. And a former colleague of mine, Cale Klingenpeel, who's now the chief economist of the America First Institute, has done some analysis, and he found that since those 26 governors began announcing their exit from supplemental unemployment insurance benefits, they have experienced a decline of 5 percentage points in continuing unemployment insurance claims relative to those states that continued in the program. So
it's fascinating.
I think this strong month of jobs gain was achieved despite the president's fiscal blowout, not because of it.
Of course, Russ, you're not hearing that anywhere else but right here. I mean, you listen to the mainstream media. I wake up with NPR every morning to get my blood flowing, and it flowed pretty mightily this morning. They didn't mention the unemployment benefits having any role to play in small businesses having trouble finding workers.
No, you're not. You're only going to hear it here on Fox and others that are committed to fair and balanced reporting. But the reality is that it hasn't had an impact. Tyler just mentioned it. I think we'll see more of it in July. And the challenge for this administration is, even though they had a good report today, they're dealing with the reality that they're fighting their own anti-growth agenda on an ongoing basis with high energy prices, inflation, and the fact that they're trying to have a $4 trillion spending package with tax increases going through Congress. So that's only going to hurt what these types of numbers are in terms of the future.
Now, Tyler, I'm just wondering if there's an ulterior motive in these unemployment benefits. And in fact, I think the president revealed that sort of motive the other day when he was talking about this. He gave one of his whispering messages. Let me just play that for you and get your response. Roll tape.
Employers can't find workers. I said, yeah, pay them more.
Pay them more. Is that really perhaps the motivation of continuing these unemployment benefits, even though a lot of small businesses say that they're competing with those benefits to get workers?
So I think the problem in the president's logic is that he has the ordering completely in the reverse order. So first of all, on the eve of this pandemic, we saw substantial income gains. We saw substantial wage gains, and they were across the wage and income distributions. And most importantly, we observed those gains even after accounting for inflation. And one of the things that has troubled me when looking at these recent jobs reports is that once one accounts for the very high month-over-month inflation readouts that we've been seeing, real wages have gone nowhere. And in fact, if inflation in June came in at just 0.3% month over month, then that would mean that real wages actually declined over the past 3 months.
Well,
so I think it's very dangerous to be putting the cart before the horse.
Although I would disagree, maybe this is just one element of the figures that we saw today, but in leisure and hospitality had an increase, a major increase in jobs, 343,000 new jobs. It was to be expected. They're still 12% below where they were before the pandemic. Nevertheless, they had an increase of hourly wages in hospitality industry of 7.9%. That was a big jump in increase in wages. But Tyler, a lot of these small businesses can't afford that for long. They have a profit margin of about 4% or 5% in some of these small restaurants.
So that's why my advice to the administration would be first focus on achieving a full labor market recovery, get back to as close to maximum employment as possible, and then if you wanted to engage in policies to try and raise wages further, then go ahead. But first focus on achieving full labor market recovery.
Tyler, finally, a last word to those people out there looking for jobs. A lot of people are saying, gee, with all these 9 million jobs available, maybe I should just continue to rest at home and collect my unemployment benefit. I'm thinking that this is not going to last very long, that if you're looking for a job, now is the time to strike, to lock something in. What do you think?
I think that's correct, that this is the moment when workers' bargaining power is going to be pretty substantial. One thing that does worry me, in addition, looking ahead, is the fact that when we dig into today's report, we see that among workers over the age of 55, about 1.5 million of them have exited the labor force in excess of what we would ordinarily expect. So I think we have to wonder about whether those early retirements can be enticed back into the labor market.
Let me go finish with Russ here. We were having some trouble with your feed, Russ, but I think we got it straightened out. Very quickly, do you think now is the time to lock something in if you're looking for work?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's time for the American people to get back into the workforce. There's a financial health to that. There's a mental health to that. And now is the time. I hope people have an opportunity to get more work in a better deal than they had before, but not at the expense of just sitting home and collecting unemployment. That would be the encouragement to get back into it and get this country moving again.
Absolutely. Russ and Tyler, great to see you. Have a wonderful July 4th weekend. I appreciate you coming in today.